There's no doubt about it that Insomniac Games has proven that they are PlayStation's most valuable studio. They're some of, if not one of the most underrated companies. Over the decade, Insomniac has built themselves a very supportive fan base who highly anticipate each project announcement. Of course, when there are fans of suspense, it's very strategic to capitalize off of it and let the communication commence. Take a look at the fans' eyes today, and you can assume they are dying of thirst when it comes to information about Marvel Spider Man 2. Fans are also being very aggressive, as well as further expressing the distaste they have for the lack of rollout information following Insomniac Games' release of Marvel's Spider-Man. Today, I want to look at all the information that we have gathered for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Insomniac Games' Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is arguably one of the most anticipated PS5 exclusives on the current market. And yet, in spite of all the hype the upcoming sequel has accrued, details on it remain surprisingly scarce, next to non-existent even. Matter of fact, the project has only really popped up a few times since first being teased at the PlayStation Showcase back in September of 2021. Needless to say, though, that Spidey is definitely en route and he'll be prepping to spin a few webs by year's end. So, what else do you know about Marvel Spider-Man 2, you may ask? Marvel Spider-Man 2 is an upcoming action-adventure game by the one and only legendary Insomniac Games. It will serve as a sequel to 2018's Marvel Spider-Man and will tie in new villains with new suits and epic fights featuring Insomniac Games' signature slinky combat system and web-based maneuvers. And not to mention a new and improved Big Apple, a fully explored concrete jungle that will no doubt become preloaded with buckets of side activities and collectibles. Unfortunately, as you guys know, Insomniac Game has been rather cryptic about the sequel's actual plot. Along with this, the screenwriter Jamie Mayer has officially joined the writing team over at Insomniac Games, who is working on the upcoming video game title. That being said, we do know that Venom is being voiced by the voice actor for Zoom and the legendary Candyman. The voice actor Tony Todd will be making his first formal debut as the latest big bad, so to speak. As of how far Peter will come to cross paths with the Tar-like villain remains unclear. Fact is, though, a variation of fresh underlying problems are in bloom, and it won't be long before Insomniac Games finally lifts the veil on them. Now, you guys already know for a fact that the game is in development and it's set to come out this year, so obviously that's one of the things. Now, on to the story. Notion that Marvel Spider-Man 2 story won't just feature just the one hero, but two. It will feature both Peter and Miles as they're shown both in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 announcement trailer that we got back at the PlayStation Showcase back in September of 2021. And on top of that, it says they'll be working together alongside one another in the latest chapter, signaling that the sequel won't just be a single-player game after all. If anything is to come, it'd be a co-op game, and one would involve having to play alongside either NPC or another player online. With both Peter and Miles' stories tied up in the previous two episodes, the sequel will now shift its focus onto new territories, areas in which new citywide issues and villains will come to light. This is where Venom, one of the most notorious villains, will emerge from the shadows. As for who else will join the hunt for the established duo remains unknown. Our guess, though, is that both Kraven and Green Goblin will also have some sort of say in the forthcoming episode, given both of their absences in both cases. Insomniac Games has said that it wishes to deliver a compelling human story, one full of heart and humor that dives deep into the people behind the mask. So, if you're putting your hopes on anything, then put it on the story that's more personal and more tailored towards Peter and Miles' lives outside their joint hero personas. Unfortunately, we do not have any sort of idea what the gameplay might look like. That said, the first game managed to at least give us an idea of what to expect, so the foundations have in ways have been well and truly established. To this end, you can certainly expect to immerse in yet another open world New York City, an unruly playground that will host a myriad of obstacles and challenges fit enough for a superhero to knuckle down on. It's been a long time coming, a sequel to one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives of all time. And while the devs have been between projects since making the formal announcement back in 2021, the fact still remains clear as day. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is on the horizon. And it'll be the homecoming every PS5 owner and their neighbors have yearned for since 2018. Or at least that's what Insomniac Games is hoping for anyway. Now you guys already know Insomniac is, the home of Spider-Man, and they took it underneath their wing. And so far the game has been really good. Like the last two, like Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales have both been great games. So you guys can hope that there is going to be a way better scale. It's going to be put on a larger scale when it comes out. So you guys already know that's going to happen. If we're going on what rumors have been saying, then we should be seeing old Peter Parker arrive at some point this fall. September, according to a now deleted tweet that was posted by the Venom voice actor Tony Todd himself. But again, there is hardly any reason to throw all our eggs in one basket over here. Truth is we don't actually know when the sequel will release. Here's hoping, though, that Insomniac Games will make heads and tails of it sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, it's the same situation with the game editions. In fact, that there aren't any to speak as of yet. At present, the best you can do is add the game to the wish list in the PlayStation Store. Know that it won't be available on PS4 and will in fact be exclusive to PS5. So for all you guys that are out there, the game will strictly be on the PS5. So for anybody that wants to know where it's coming from, it will be strictly on PS5, completely skipping the PS4 generation going into the next gen. And other than that, that's all we know about Marvel Spider-Man 2.